The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
If you want all of your data in one place, you need the Intuit ERP. I'm Damon John, and I run my growing business on Intuit Enterprise Suite. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
Okay, Mom, for my dorm, I'm thinking coquette meets poet core.
That sounds like a vibe. What do you need? And where do we get it?
Target. I already have everything on my mood board. A comforter, pillows, and a super cute floral lamp.
So you probably need a rug to tie it all together.
OMG, they have the perfect CMPC rug.
CMPC?
Coquette meets poet core.
Oh, okay. In that case, let's RTT.
Yeah, let's run to Target. You're getting it. Find your dorm inspiration and everything you need at Target.
The Daily Braw. This is anything but footy at the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games.
In Glasgow, I'm Michael.
And I'm John, in Glasgow.
So let the games begin. It's great to have John here. He's in the city, he's on the ground, he's on location. And we were in the Hydro for the opening ceremony.
Yes, very good to be here. Shame you spilt your drink all over the trousers and the next door neighbour from New Zealand when we sat down. Fortunately, no such problems for Team Scotland, Wales, England, Australia, 70 other nations as well coming up. We review the opening night.
In my defence, I did have a broken seat.
That's what they all say.
If I was one of those grumpy people that cover games, I would be writing up about my broken seat at the Hydro and how it spoiled my enjoyment of the opening ceremony today. That's the kind of story that you would be reading on morning one of the games. But it didn't spoil my enjoyment of the opening ceremony. No. But it was a broken seat that did cause me to spoil my beer, which I spilled all down my trousers, as you say.
And to be fair, it did enjoy my evening even more as well.
Yeah, thanks for taking the photographs. Anyway, it's day one. It did look like I'd wet myself, but the sport starts, so hopefully people will start to remember that instead of what I did last night. It's our news from the games, and we've got some England athletics headaches for you. And don't forget, you can hear us live every day, beginning today from 7 o'clock this evening on Talk Sport. Dedicated show. John will be there all day updating you as well on the website, on DAB Digital Radio, on AM, on your smart speaker, and via the TalkSport app.
Yeah, this is Anything But Footy with the Daily Braw from the biggest sporting event in the UK this year. Here's my headlines, Michael, from last night, okay? Apart from the spilt drink. Tardis, Tartan, Tunnocks, Tunstall.
Excellent. Love it. That was the Daily Braw. We'll be back tomorrow. No, it was nice. It was a good opening ceremony. It had to be reimagined, had to be different. I think we said a couple of years ago that they should probably try and put on like some kind of arena show as opposed to using the stadium. If you've missed it, then basically the King and the Queen turned up in the Tardis with Sir Chris Hoy after a whistle-stop tour right across Scotland, finishing at Balmoral. So it was kind of Glasgow 2026's version of James Bond and the Queen from 2012. I thought it was really nice. It was good. It was mildly amusing. It just highlighted a few of the key tourist attractions in Scotland as well, like Loch Ness and others. And it was a brilliant way to bring the King in.
The thing that I knew that he was going to walk out of the Tardis, because the Tardis was suddenly appeared on the stage, and I knew that the King and Queen were going to walk out, but I still didn't believe it when they actually did walk out. And that was what was so weird, because as you say, it was a James Bond-esque 2012 light edition for Scotland, but it was still magical. And it was amazing, and that TARDIS sound just brings back haunting memories of being a child and watching Doctor Who. And I know it's around at the moment, but it was just a moment. And Prince Bonnie Charlie or King Charles popped out of the TARDIS as well.
Yeah, Andy Burnham was there, so one of his first official duties as the new Prime Minister. Great reception in the arena, I thought, for the King and Queen as well. And then a brilliant reception for every nation, 74 nations and territories who marched in the parade. Huge roars for the Falkland Islands, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Being in Scotland, of course, and massive roars for the biggest delegation of the night who came out last, which was the host nation, Scotland.
Yeah, I thought England's reception was pretty good, but Scotland, everyone went loopy. I've never heard noise like that in an arena. You've been to those kind of things for concerts and the like. It was incredible. People were on their feet just celebrating Scotland coming in. And as you mentioned, some of the support that they also got for some of the smaller nations. St. Lucia just had one athlete there. We know, of course, Julian Alfred has pulled out. We told you that on the Diamond League podcast we did a couple of days ago. But there was just one person carrying the flag. And so they had a volunteer, a legend, as they're called here in Glasgow, carrying the baton. So absolutely, as they walked all the way around the kind of little track that was set up, it was really good to see. And yeah, England, Northern Ireland, Wales, some great memories, I'm sure, there as well. And the King hailed the Commonwealth as a unique and extraordinary family of nations.
And we had the opportunity, of course, just before that opening ceremony started, to meet some of the athletes as they were wandering in. There was kind of an interview zone there. So tell the Daily Brawl listeners what it was that I said to Luke Greenbank, who had the honour of carrying the baton into the ceremony for Team England, as you finished interviewing him and he wandered off to take his big moment. What did I say to Luke?
Don't drop it. I mean, talk about putting pressure on the put. I mean, he literally looked at you and he laughed, but then he realised it was like, oh my goodness, can you imagine if I did that? I said it's like saying to an actor who's about to go on stage in the West End, good luck, instead of break a leg. I don't know what you say. As you said, I can't say break a leg to an athlete or a swimmer, but yeah, don't drop it. I mean, really, really.
Well, he didn't, did he? So he took the advice. We had Callum Beattie singing Yes, Sir, I Can Boogie. Big Scottish football anthem. Went down really well. There was a huge kind of disco environment in the Hydro, so it just became like a nightclub for a few minutes. Nina Nesbitt, we had to have a bit of proclaimers in there. She sang 500 miles as the baton came in. We had the oaths and, of course, the usual kind of formalities. And then the baton relay. So Hannah Miley took part. She won the first gold medal for Scotland in 2014. Neil Fucky, multi-decorated Paralympian. And then Kieran Achara had the kind of honour, if you like, of delivering the final baton, basketball player from Scotland, of course, to the King, who read the message.
So day one, sports starts. There's 5 sports coming up on day one. 13 medals are up for grabs. Swimming, boxing, gymnastics, also powerlifting and para and bowls continue as well. Michael, you're going to be where today?
Well, I'm off to try and see the first medals of Glasgow 2026. So I am going to go to the powerlifting. And there's a couple of big medal chances, actually, I would suggest early on. Certainly for Team England, they could be winning a medal by lunchtime today. So Mark Swan in the men's lightweight final. And keep your eye out as well for Olivia Broom in the women's lightweight final a little bit later on. So that's where I'm off to. I'm off to the SEC, the Scottish Exhibition Centre, and I'm off to the Armadillo to see the para powerlifting. First time ever, as we've said, para sport has the honour of being the first medals of the game. So that's my daytime.
Yeah, my daytime is swimming for Talk Sport today. Off to Tollcross, Swimming International Centre. Got Duncan Scott, obviously a huge Scottish athlete in the 200 metre IM with Tom Dean. Stephen Clegg, also from a Scottish point of view. Katie Shanahan, also in action this morning. Adam Ramsey-Peaty starts his campaign for another 5th gold medal as well. So all of that this morning. You'll be then there for the finals this evening. I'm going to go to the gymnastics this evening as well, where Team England are defending their 3-time gold medal, probably against Canada, I would suggest, who are the this year's Pan Am gymnastics champions, beating America for the very first time in the men's team. But talking of teams, Michael, a real athletic selection headache for Team England after the news that kind of we broke a couple of days ago on the podcast, but it's kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, and it was a really badly kept secret yesterday. I think the news about Dina Asher-Smith we put out there, so we knew that she was not going to come to compete in the relay. We were hearing whispers 24 hours ago that Katarina Johnson-Thompson was going to be joining her on the sick list, and unfortunately no Katarina Johnson-Thompson. And then other big names, we got this sort of official notification about it. So no Amber Anning, no Daryl Neater, maybe unsurprisingly because she broke her foot walking a dog 14, 15 weeks ago. I think, again, we kind of had hints that Daryl Neater wasn't going to be here. And no Matthew Hudson-Smith either for Team England. And a few others as well that are out. Some have been replaced. So there are some athletes that are arriving. So Katarina Johnson-Thompson, for example, has been replaced by Neve Emerson, who won a medal on the Gold Coast in Gold Coast in 2018 in beautiful Australia in 2018.
Did you go?
She's coming. I did, and I met Neve actually there. I can tell you all about it. It was on the beach, and so she won a medal in 2018, but hasn't really been in action very much since. But she's got the call up for the heptathlon, and there might still be some extra names added to Team England's track and field squad.
So you're going to see the headlines today: chaos, crisis, Commonwealth Games, people pulling out,
spilt drinks, broken chairs.
But seriously, Josh Kerr, Georgia Hunter-Bell, Ailish McColgan, Laura Muir, Jake Whiteman, Zarnell Hughes, Ramel Glave, fastest man in Britain this year. They're just some of the athletics people who are representing Team Scotland, Wales, England over the next week. And that's why you have to tune in. And there are other medalists. I mentioned some of them already, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, you think obviously from a swimming point of view, you've talked about Duncan Scott, Tom Dean. We met Emily Campbell last night. She's going to be a huge draw in the weightlifting, two-time Olympic medalist. You're going to see Rhys McClenaghan today, an Olympic champion for Ireland, representing Northern Ireland here. I went to see Emma Finucane on Olympic Day. She's here for Wales. And then some of the overseas names as well. So the likes of Jess Hull of Australia, obviously Sharika Jackson, Nicola Slagers, and the boxing competition is going to be brilliant because the home nations have brought big squads. So you're going to have the likes of people like Rosie Eccles, who carried the flag for Wales, Chantel Reid. These are the names that went to the Olympics that we know from Paris 2024.
So those are the bad headlines. We've given you some of the good headlines. This is the Daily Braw from Anything But Footy. You can follow us on our socials. Remember to catch us all day on TalkSport as well. And as Michael said, from 7 o'clock tonight, a dedicated programme. And we can't wait to bring you all the latest news from these Commonwealth Games.
This is Anything But Footy at the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games.